What up, what up, what up? Welcome to the Layer Game episode 161. This is the average man's perspective on football. I am your co-host Marcus. Joining me on the panel tonight is Herman. Say what up, Herman.
Hey.
You are a hater.
Next up, we got Brian. Say what up, Brian.
Thank you for joining us.
I'm the one selling the records. They coming to see me. They coming to see the Temptations.
Ain't nobody coming to see you, Otis. And last but never least, we got Mark. Say what up, Mark.
Good evening.
God dang it. Oh, wait. Hold on. We won't get there. Hold on. Whenever we get to Mark, the thing goes messed up.
And me, I'm 56 years old.
Damn.
Maybe we need to invest in a new one.
Something.
There we do. I'll take all donations. Vid me all your donations.
Let me look on Amazon. Where you get that one from?
I greatly appreciate it. Before we get started, I want to encourage everyone to like, share, and subscribe. So if you're watching on YouTube, you catch us on Facebook and our Facebook group, The Layer Game. We're on X at The Layer Game 3 and on Instagram at the official Delay of Game. I believe Herman is hosting tonight.
Yep, that's right.
So go ahead and start us off, Herman.
All right, everybody. Thanks for joining. We're gonna hit you with some news of the week, and we're gonna go into our hot topics. We're gonna try to do 3, I guess. Then we're gonna do our picks. We're gonna review our picks from last week and do our picks for this week, and then we'll give you our final thoughts. So with that being said, I will throw it back to Marcus for the first news story.
7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback Tom Brady has been approved by NFL ownership as a limited partner of the Las Vegas Raiders. NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport reported on Tuesday. Brady and his partner now hold 10% in the Raiders, with Brady personally holding a 5% stake. Brady's effort to purchase part of the Raiders was delayed in part by questions surrounding the evaluation of the percentage to be sold to him and Brady's role as a Fox Sports broadcaster. The NFL in August placed restrictions on Brady's broadcasting access due to his potential involvement with the Raiders. Brady is not permitted to attend in-person or online broadcast production meetings and may not have access to team facilities, players, or coaches. Fox staff is not subject to these limitations. He also must abide by the league constitution and bylaws that prohibit public criticism of officials and other clubs when allowed to broadcast Raiders games.
I don't understand how this even works. Kind of
I don't
doesn't
even
make
think
sense.
I always thought those pre-broadcast meetings were very important.
They are like if you ever watched them, they sit down and get a lot of information off of that stuff.
Well, I guess they're not that important.
They let the other guy that the main guy he because Brady's the color, but the other guy can go and he talks, so he gets all the information.
Yeah, it's weird though. And then he can't criticize other clubs, but he does criticize clubs during the broadcast.
Well, now we can't. Like, what does criticize mean? You can't say, "Oh, my ex team, the Patriots, they suck." you can't do that.
I mean, I don't know. I guess he can't say stuff like, that was a bad move by the GM. Or, he can't really give opinions on players. And when you think about it, anything he does is a criticism of a player.
So he can't criticize none of them.
That's weird. I don't know.
I guess you better go play by play, call exactly what you saw.
I guess so.
But he's the color guy. He's supposed to talk
criticize and break it
down.
down, right? So it's
I guess he can criticize the play. He just can't criticize the players.
I guess that's weird. I want to see. I've caught. Of course, we've seen him on a few games now. So I guess we have to see if it changes, but I don't expect it to change. I don't know. All right, thank you for the first news story, Marcus. I will take the next news story. Jerry Jones celebrated his 82nd birthday on Sunday, October 13th, but his birthday was spoiled when he opened up his presents and found an open can of whoop-ass that had already been used by the Detroit Lions on Jerry Jones's Dallas Cowboys. This was a fitting gift for the worst GM in the NFL. Happy birthday, loser.
I didn't read that. I'm surprised you put that in there. I did not read that.
Brian, you can take the next news story. Yeah, that was in there. I wrote that myself.
Yeah, I wrote mine myself too, but we'll talk about that later. Tuesday was a big day for acquiring wide receivers. The Las Vegas Raiders agreed to trade Devontae Adams to the Jets for a third-round pick, which could improve to a second. Adams is on the active roster for AFC Championship game, or if Adams is first or second round All-Pro this season. Good luck to the Jets.
Yeah, they know they're not giving up a second rounder. Well, that's not going to happen. Anyway, Mark, why don't you go ahead and read the next news story, or the final one?
The Cleveland Browns are trading wide receiver Amari Cooper to the Bills, in which they will receive Cooper and the 2025 sixth-round draft choice, with the Cleveland Browns gets a 2025 third-round pick and a 2026 seventh round in return. To make room for Cooper, the Bills opted to release wide receiver Marquez Valdez-Scantling.
And yeah, we're going to get into both of these news stories because basically it's our first hot topic of the week. So those are our news stories.
Well, that's the news.
And thanks for stopping by.
And let's roll right into our hot topic. Brian, you didn't like how I set that up so that he could play the sound of it?
No.
I do that every week just for Brian.
We know.
Oh, man.
We know.
I know how much Brian loves it.
All right. So like Mark and Brian's news stories just said, the Jets and Bills made trades for the Jets respectively for wide receiver Jamal Adams, and the Bills traded for Amari Cooper. Which team do you think made a bigger impact with their trade? And I mean the two teams that received the wide receivers. We're not going to talk about the teams that got the draft picks, but which team I guess improved their which team improved their team better by making this trade? Mark, I'll let you go first.
Looking at it, if you look at Devontae Adams right now is so-called somewhat hurt.
He practiced today, though.
I think Amari Cooper ended up being the better of the two drafts. So I think Buffalo comes out as a winner. We all know that the Bills rely a lot on Josh Allen, but this is giving them a weapon, a wide receiver threat that he lost when they gave up Stephon Diggs. So I think they got the best of the deal as far as which wide receiver will probably be more productive with them. Whether they can keep him for a long term is a different story, and whether or not these draft choice will pan out to be something else is a whole different story. But I think the Bills are wind up on the top end of it first.
Mark?
Yeah, I agree with Mark. I think it's the Bills. Ever since Stephon Diggs left, they need a star wide receiver. I believe Amari Cooper could still be that guy. He had some success in Cleveland, and never really had a quarterback. I imagine he could do a whole lot with Josh Allen, and Josh Allen won't have the entire defense. As far as Devontae Adams and the Jets, I'm going to keep harping on this. Aaron Rodgers is not the Aaron Rodgers, old Aaron Rodgers. It's not going to matter that Devontae Adams is there. It might, increase the offense a little minority. But Aaron Rodgers is not who he used to be. I don't think he's a good quarterback no more. He's not a top quarterback in the AFC. If he was in the NFC, he probably would be a top one in the NFC right now. And also, I think his attitude is bad. Like we said last week, we let the inmates run the asylum. Aaron Rodgers is the inmate. He got his coach fired. The only reason Nathaniel Hackett is still there and not fired is because of Aaron Rodgers. And the only reason that Devontae Adams is there is because of Aaron Rodgers, which I think Devontae Adams made a very bad move. He should have went to the Chiefs. He would have had a better quarterback if he'd went to the Cowboys. It's not going to turn out the way they think it is. I don't think the Jets will make the playoffs. If they do, they'll be eliminated in the wild card round. And then Rodgers is only going to be there at most another year probably. And if it turns out very badly this year, he might not come back next year. So then you got to go somewhere else next year, Devontae Adams. You should have just did that this year. You should have went to Buffalo maybe. Buffalo, the Chiefs, or the Cowboys. Much better quarterbacks as far as I'm concerned. So I think the Bills definitely got the better end of the deal, strictly because Aaron Rodgers is garbage.
So, yeah, this one's. I don't think this one is as wide as you guys kind of make it out to be, because the question kind of was who made their team instantly better. Well, kind of, who made their team better. I think that I'm gonna go against the grain on y'all with this one, and I think that the Jets actually made their team better. And I think picking up Amari Cooper was big for the Bills. It's going to take some adjustment, a little bit of adjustment period for him and Josh Allen to get up and get in sync with things. I don't think Amari is as good in the cold as he is in warmer environments. I think he's better. In my opinion, I think he's a little bit better on turf because he was, with the routes, his precision route running. Some of these fields, these grass fields, especially in Buffalo, may not be so good for him. With the Jets, you get a quarterback. The quarterback gets a guy that he totally trusts. You can't deny the level of talent that Jamal Adams has, and then you throw in this extra factor of Jamal Adams being able to help the other wide
You mean
receivers.
Devontae Adams?
Devontae Adams. Why am I calling him Jamal Adams? I'm sorry. Wow. Devontae Adams, he brings in an element of being able to teach the receivers also to get them better in the system. He knows the system. There's not going to be much of a learning curve for him probably at all. So he comes right in and he can instantly play. I mean, you said he practiced today. So, and how hurt he really was in LA, we'll never know. But I'm sure he's going to be rejuvenated because he's finally out of LA and out of Vegas. And Vegas was terrible. You know what I mean? The dude was miserable there. So he gets his quarterback back that he wanted. He can help to teach the other receivers, and I think that this will improve the Jets, and this will make them more of a threat. It should improve their running game, and their passing game will get better because Adams, you have to take him as a serious threat, and then on the opposite side of him, you got was it Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
That's going to open up the run game right there. So I think they got the better improvement, just because of what they already have in place. Also, Bills get Amari Cooper, but it's been proven you can take Amari Cooper out of a game with one cornerback, with your top DB. So I think it's the Jets. Brian?
I'm going to agree with Marcus and Mark on this one. I think that Amari Cooper was desperately needed by Buffalo. Not to mention Buffalo just beat the Jets without Amari Cooper. So it was no telling how much more they would have beat him with him. I think that Amari Cooper has, like Marcus said, the better of the two quarterbacks. I think that Josh Allen is, of course, he's younger, faster, stronger, has the dimensions that Rodgers no longer has anymore as a quarterback. And I mean, to be honest with you, Devontae Adams is not like the youngest wide receiver out there either. So I just don't see. I see Buffalo. They're number one. They're leading the division. They're at the top. So I think that will also help the fact that that they're already number one. So for Amari, I mean, why would you want to go to any other team when you got that team that's already on top? B, they need you. I don't think that I just don't see. I don't see Devontae Adams just being that piece that the Jets need to secure, that division. I think that with Amari Cooper, I think that made Buffalo even stronger. If you go down the list of who the players they got, I mean, on the Jets side, it really looks like they should be better, but they haven't been playing like the Jets. And I think Marcus is right. I think it's all because of Aaron Rodgers firing the coaches, trying to change the culture, and just too much control of that team. So I think that Amari Cooper going to Buffalo is a better option.
All right, but the Jets would have won that game if their field goal kicker had kicked it in between the uprights.
If this was a fifth, we'd all be drunk
at the upright. So That game
This was
could
the
have
fifth.
easily went the other way.
Oh, we're all drunk.
Wait,
Anyway.
didn't the Bills miss a field goal and an extra point? So
Yeah, but the I think the Jets missed 3 field goals. I think
If the Bills didn't let a freaking Hail Mary at the end of the half, they still wouldn't have been in that game.
well, if what'd you say?
Because if was a
If
fifth,
was a fifth,
we
yeah.
would all be drunk.
Let's move on to the next topic. We got Roger Goodell says that he wouldn't be surprised if a Super Bowl is played internationally. What's your thoughts on a Super Bowl being played overseas? I'll go first with this one. My opinion, I don't like it. I feel like it's just a money grab by the NFL. What's the point? First of all, we all seen these games when these teams go overseas, right? They go over, they've tried different things. They've gone over a week early, they've gone over 2 weeks early. The level of football that comes out of most of these overseas games is sloppy and ugly. It just is. Why would you promote or put your biggest game of the year? I mean, it's the biggest sporting event in sports, probably outside of the Olympics. Why would you do that overseas when you know that your quality of football is not as good? I think it's a money grab. I don't like it. I think they need to just move on from doing something stupid like that. Brian?
I like it. I think it is a good idea. And you're right. It is a money grab, but it also makes the NFL that much bigger. I mean, NFL dominates America. There's no question they're the number one sport. But what's the number one sport in the world? Soccer.
Soccer. Yeah.
You get the NFL to start going to different cities and having a Super Bowl, which regardless of wherever it is, you're going to watch. You're absolutely going to watch. And with the Super Bowl too, they're not going to just be over there for like a week. They're going to be over there for 2 weeks. They're going to be adjusted to the time frame. They're going to be prepared. It's the best of the best. You're going to get the best talent out there, regardless of where this game is. So I don't think it's a bad idea. I think it's always a good thing to try to grow the game. I mean, if that's the case, why are we even playing overseas? What is the purpose of that?
I ask that question all the time.
But we're doing it to grow
It's
the
a
game.
money grab.
We're doing it
It's
to
a
grow
money
the game.
grab.
When you see those players, you see those fans over there, like in NFL teams. I mean, that's a big thing. I mean, especially in like London, and I mean, they think that that the Jags is their team.
They might as well be. They were over there all
The
the
Jags
time.
are always over there. So, hey,
Yeah.
if you can grow the game, make it bigger, I'm all for it, man. Viva la NFL.
Money grab. Marcus?
yeah, I might just say no. There's several logistics involved in that. Who wants to watch a damn Super Bowl at 9:15 in the damn morning?
I think they would change that.
Okay, noon. Who?
The NFL,
It's a
we
prime
don't
time
watch
game.
the Super Bowl until 6 p.m.
Okay, so noon. So noon.
You know what time it is over there? It's like
6
probably
hours
6.
ahead.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be 2
5,
in
6
the
hours.
morning
But
or something.
we
It just depends.
we do watch it at 9 because we have games at 1 and 4 and
You
others.
can't-
We wouldn't have any
The
other
Super
games.
Bowl
that week,
is
so
a
they could
prime
put that back.
time
They
game.
could back
You
it up.
can't put the prime time game on at noon.
You
in
can
the
start
middle
at
of the
4
freaking day.
o'clock.
No.
Then it's probably 10 o'clock at night there.
10 o'clock at night there,
Who
or
cares what
11
time it
o'clock
is
at
there?
night.
Play it here.
Because you
watch it
play the players. You
The
expect players to play a football game in the middle of the night? Like what?
They're playing it early in the morning.
Start it in the middle. No, when they play that 9 o'clock game there,
It's
It's
like
like-
2
You mean
o'clock
the
in the
Monday
afternoon.
night
Yeah.
game? The Monday night
Huh?
games that they used to play?
Do they
You know, you
start
know,
night
Monday
game? Do they
used to
start night
at
games?
9.
do
Monday
they
night
start
games
that
used to
late?
start at 9. They just
But they
started
don't
moving.
anymore,
They used
though,
to
do
start
they?
at 9.
But they
We used
don't
to watch
anymore.
until midnight.
This guy.
It's crazy.
This
It's
guy.
a money grab.
And
Of course, the whole thing is it's a business. What are you talking about?
and another thing is, first of all, they don't, like you said, soccer is their big game. They don't play their championship games over here. They play them over there.
Right.
This is an American sport. It's an American game. Your core audience, I don't care how much you expand it over internationally. Your core audience is here in America. Keep it here. This is where it belongs. This is where everything happens. This is where it was started. You play it here in the United States, and you play it at 6 o'clock evening, East Coast time. Not at no 4 o'clock, not at no noon. It's dumb. It's dumb. You're getting a little. Roger Goodell is getting a little ahead of himself. This is where it deserves to be played. They don't play their championship games over here. we shouldn't play our championship games over there. We should play it right here in the United States. So no, I'm totally against it.
Mark.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of it either, man. At least it won't happen. At least the next 3 Super Bowls, at least it'll be in New Orleans, the Bay Area, and then LA. But the biggest thing is, think about the cities that would lose that revenue. They would be pissed. I know I would be pissed.
Yep.
But Goodell's whole plan is to have 16 regular season games internationally, especially if they expanded the 18-game season. So that means every week there will be an NFL team playing overseas. I don't like the idea. I can't imagine watching the Super Bowl at odd times other than 6 p.m. on the Super Bowl Sunday. It's just ridiculous to me. So no, you don't put it overseas. I would never go see it overseas. I know that. But no, I'm not agreeing upon putting it overseas.
I mean, it's hard enough to get into to go to a Super Bowl in America, like to get the tickets, the prices of the tickets. Imagine if you want to try to fly overseas, and the pricing of the tickets, hotel. I mean, it's crazy.
I mean, to be honest, Super Bowl game now isn't for your average American anyway.
No, you're right. It's not.
It's very commercial. It's all businesses.
You gotta have some money to get into those games.
All right. So let's go on
to
lawn.
Get off my lawn. Get off my lawn. Y'all are old farts.
Whatever. you just want to go against the grain.
I know.
No, I think it's a good thing for real.
All right, let's do this last topic real quick. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni was seen going off on his own fan base during the last home game.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was.
Have you not been watching the news?
Against the Browns?
No.
He was yelling at Browns players.
No.
Yes, he was.
He was not.
Okay.
Anyway, even if he was going off against
late,
Browns fans.
Mr. Late,
how was I late? How was I late?
You was late.
How was I late? What time did the show start?
You was late.
Anyway,
what time did the show start?
Look, anyway, I mean, what do you make of him? Is the pressure starting to get to him? Is he a good representative for his team? You know, as the head coach. Let's just talk about him real quick. Marcus, I'll let you start this one.
I just won't be hated it. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's totally ridiculous. It's just atrocious that you would. How do you go off on your own fans, and you're winning the game? Granted, you're barely winning to a very bad team. You barely won, but who? Let's look at some of the great coaches. Could you ever imagine them doing that? Could you ever imagine? What was San Francisco's coach?
Steve Young. I mean, not Steve Young. Steve Mariucci.
No, the famous one, West Coast.
Oh,
Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh.
Could
you ever imagine Bill Walsh doing that? Could you ever imagine Jimmy
Bill
Johnson
Parcells
doing that? Could you imagine Bill Parcells doing that? Could you imagine any reputable coach? Could you imagine even?
I could imagine Buddy Ryan doing it.
Yeah,
he just used to hit his offensive coordinator.
Right.
He just punched.
You're probably right about that one.
But it's ridiculous, and you should be focusing on winning the game and interacting with your players. You know, we've seen players do it. We expect some players to do it, but at your own fan base, you're upset because even though you're winning, you're barely winning. You're not looking good winning. No one really expects you to. If you do manage to make the playoffs, no one expects you to get deep. Philly fans are calling for your head. They haven't forgot about your 8-7 game losing streak last season, going to the playoffs, and then get your butt kicked by Tampa Bay. I think he's proven that the Eagles' success 2 years ago, Super Bowl, was definitely on his offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator, who are now head coaches of Arizona and Indianapolis, and was not probably had nothing to do with him. How Saleh got fired before him is a wonder, and probably it's only because they've been winning some games, but still look trouble winning. and they need to get rid of him and see if they can woo back the Cardinals coach or the Colts coach, because that's obviously the reason why they're successful 2 years ago, because they haven't looked the same since those two guys left. The only thing I guess you can give Nick Sirianni credit for is he brought them there, but since they left, they've looked terrible, and it's just no excuse for doing what he did. Like I said, you couldn't imagine a Hall of Fame coach, or even not a Hall of Fame coach, doing that. That's very low key, very low class, and you shouldn't even be interacting with the other team's fans, much less your own fans. And Philly, come on, man, you don't want to get on Philadelphia fans' bad side. You definitely don't want to do that. They threw rocks or snowball at Santa Claus. What you think they're going to do to your bald head ass that hasn't really done anything for 2 years? So yeah, he'll be gone. He won't be there next year.
Brian.
Yeah, it was inappropriate for a head coach to be interacting with fans regardless. You have to act the position. You're not a fanboy. You're a leader of men, and the way that you're leading men. And to be honest with you, it didn't surprise me that he done it. I mean, he's done other stunts throughout his short career as a head coach, which were inappropriate, wearing inappropriate shirts. And the other thing too is this guy doesn't even. I don't know what he does as a head coach. He's not an offensive coordinator. He's not a defensive guru. He's just there. He's just there. He seems like he makes no real decisions. He's just like a big fanboy. And I mean, why are you fussing? You should be above that. You truly should be above that. I don't know why you're sitting there arguing with fans about a game that you barely won. You should have really been humbled that the worst team in NFL almost beat your team. So I'm happy that he's with the Eagles. I hope he stays for a long, long time because he's terrible.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one too, Brian. It's like, you're supposed to you're the head coach. You're supposed to represent the team, and I mean, he acts a fool. He just acts a fool. He shows no composure on the sidelines. Yelling at fans, and he brings in Kellen Moore. What kind of hire was that? As offensive coordinator, like, come on, dude. His offense looked terrible. It just looks terrible, So they're getting a little bit better, but it's like you said, like, what does he do? That is the thing. What is he known for? He had no part in the Super Bowl. Like, his two coordinators were the ones that got him there. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he knows how to keep a schedule and can call out, practice and this and that. But yeah, he's a bum. I mean, I think he's a bum. He'll probably be gone next season. They're gonna have to start clean, and Jalen Hurts is gonna have a whole nother offensive coordinator situation, because that Kellen Moore offense is garbage. Mark, you can round it out.
Yeah, I mean, this is just crazy, man. The Eagles fans were booing him and hollering "Fire Nick" is what they were saying to him. When he was asked in the press conference about it, he brought his kids in there to kind of like downplay the whole situation. This is ridiculous. We wouldn't want players doing this on the sideline for sure. So why would you expect the coach to be doing this? This is ridiculous. I don't see how he's the coach, and he very well might not make it for the rest of the season. To be honest with you, with doing stunts like this. But it's clear it's a classless act for him to do, and for him to be the leader or the head man in charge. It puts a bad mark on Philly. Of course, the Dallas fans enjoy it; they love it. But
I think Washington and the Giants were a little happy with it as well.
Yeah, they were definitely.
I think y'all love it a little bit much more than they do, because
we hate equally. We hate equally.
Yeah.
I don't
know, though, man. I think I hate Philly a lot more. A little bit more energy on them.
See? But yeah, this dude, he keep this up. He's not gonna make it to the end of the season. That's for sure. Especially if they go on a losing streak.
And he's expendable. That's the thing about
Yes,
him,
yes,
because
he
he doesn't
is.
do anything. You know what I mean?
He is. He did. Yeah, he is.
All right, so those are our hot topics. Let's go ahead and roll into our games that we picked last week. We're going to start with the Thursday night game. The San Francisco 49ers traveled into Seattle to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Brock Purdy was 18 for 28, 255 yards passing with 3 touchdowns. Geno Smith on the flip side was 30 for 52, 312 yards passing, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. Leading rusher for the 49ers was Garindo. Not sure who he is. 10 carries for 99 yards. And Kenneth Walker III, 14 carries for 32 yards for Seattle. Leading receiver for 49ers was Deebo Samuels, 3 receptions, 102 yards with 1 touchdown, and Tyler Lockett, 4 receptions for 65 yards and 1 touchdown for the Seahawks. Time of possession in this game, San Francisco won that 33 minutes to 26 minutes. So it wasn't a landslide on that. I'll go first. I picked Seattle, and I did get this one wrong. I expected a better game out of the Seahawks being at home, and with the 49ers dealing with injuries. I think Jordan Mason, the running back, he went out in the first quarter, I think, of the game. But they picked up the slack with this Garindo guy. But Seattle's not going to win a game when Geno Smith has to throw 52 times. They're just not. They did fall behind early in this game and did make a slight comeback, but they're going to have to find a running game moving forward. I mean, we all know no running game, no success for your team. It just doesn't work that way. But I picked the Seahawks, and I got this one wrong. Brian, who'd you have?
Yeah, I was with you too, Herman. I had the Seahawks, and I picked this one wrong. And you're right, man. The 49ers, they had a very balanced offense. They passed for 255 yards, and they ran for 228 yards. Conversely, the Seahawks, they had, like I said, Herman, had to pass 52 times for 306 yards and only rush for 52 yards.
Yeah.
They also turned the ball over 3 times when the Niners did not turn the ball over at all. So it's very tough to try to come back from a team when you keep giving it to the offense and you're throwing the ball way too much.
Mark, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, I took Seattle too. 49ers got up to a 16-0 lead on there. But the 49ers need to learn how to finish games, man. They let them come back. This first time we saw the kickoff return on the new kickoff in this particular game. Definitely Jordan Mason, when he got hurt, if he didn't get hurt, man, they were going to be in a long day running the ball with the 49ers. Seattle still has to find some type of identity. They with the new coach and this team, they really don't have an identity. But I took the San Francisco, I took the Seahawks, and I got it wrong.
And Marcus.
Yeah, I also took the Seahawks. Like y'all said, San Francisco got to an early start. They got like 16-0 on these guys, and it's just. I mean, we say this all the time when we talk about San Francisco and Kyle Shanahan's offense. They just pop out running backs, just like who? Like who is this dude? Never heard of him, never seen him. He was selling cars yesterday. Now he running 100 yards in the NFL. They just no matter. I mean, when it comes back to running back, you can never count them out. But yeah, I picked against them because they were not looking that great, but they proved me wrong, and I was wrong. I picked Seattle, and I should have picked San Francisco.
All right, moving on to our next game. This was
Make
our
a lot of noise, Brian.
Sorry.
There's a mute button, right?
I don't know where that is.
This was our London game. We had the Jaguars facing the Chicago Bears. The Bears were considered the home team for this one. The Bears decisively won this one 35-16. Caleb Williams was 23 for 29, 226 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. On the flip side, Sunshine was 23 for 35, 234 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Maybe probably shouldn't call him Sunshine because Sunshine was probably better.
Yeah. I'm about to say, yeah.
Rushing the ball.
Is that a remember the Titans?
Yes.
Okay.
Swift, 17 carries, 91 yards with 1 touchdown. And then for Jacksonville, Johnson, 6 carries for 28 yards. On the receiving side, both leading receivers were tight ends. Cole Kmet, 5 receptions for 70 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Evan Ingram, 10 receptions for 102 touchdowns. 102 yards.
That's a lot of touchdowns.
Right. Time of possession was basically even in this one. The Bears 30 minutes and the Jaguars 29 minutes. Brian, you can go ahead and start this one off. Who'd you have?
Man, I picked the Bears, but I did not think it was going to be this bad. They were 4 for 4 in the red zone. They outrushed the Jaguars 152 yards to 68 yards. Caleb, I don't know if this was his coming out party, but I mean, he had a little bit of issues in the first quarter, but after that, he was just lighting them up. It was like the Jags weren't there. You didn't know that he was the rookie and that Sunshine was the veteran in this game.
Right.
I picked the Bears, and they showed out. They did a nice game.
Marcus?
He also picked the Bears. Jacksonville is terrible. The Bears have a good defense, and Caleb is starting to come out. The first 3 games weren't so hot. His last 3 games have been pretty good. I think this is the best game, at least touchdown wise, this year. And we keep talking about the other coaches. I'm wondering how long Doug Peterson is going to be there.
Yeah.
But
hey, Marcus, did you hear he said he had to change? They need a culture change.
I thought you're supposed to do that when you get there.
Yeah, you're the head coach. I think that's your job.
Yeah. It's not the thing you want to say.
Who's saying the culture if you're not saying the culture?
Right.
But yeah, I picked the Bears, and I think that was an obvious pick. I was right.
Mark?
Yeah, I took the Bears. Caleb Williams did play good, especially after having a slow start. The Jags stinks. Hey, man, this is the 4th game of the season that they've scored 17 or fewer points. They stayed in London because they're playing the Patriots next week. But Doug Peterson looked like he was confused at halftime. It was crazy. They just stink. I took the Bears.
Yeah, we were all in accord on this one, taking the Bears. I think as bad as the Bears have been, for all of us to take the Bears in this game, it just tells you how bad Jacksonville is. It looks like Caleb Williams has finally started to the light bulb has kind of come on for him. 4 touchdown game, that was huge. Big thing, they had they had a better rushing attack too. 152 yards rushing for the Bears and 68 yards rushing for the Jags. Even for Trevor Lawrence, you got to have a better run game. So I did pick the Bears, and I got this one right.
Didn't ETN get hurt in this game?
He must have. I just closed it out, but I didn't see his stats.
I don't think he played at all.
All right, moving on to the next game. We had the Tampa Bay Buccaneers traveling into New Orleans to take on the New Orleans Saints. The Bucs put up a 50-burger on the Saints. Baker Field was 24 for 36, 325 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. On the flip side, the Saints started the rookie. What's his first name?
Spencer Rattler.
Spencer Rattler, 22 for 40, 243 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Rushing attack, the Bucs 14 carry. S. Tucker 14 carries, 136 yards, 1 touchdown, and Alvin Kamara 13 carries, 40 yards, 1 touchdown.
Yes, Sean Baker.
Yes, Baker Field.
That's a Marcus colloquialism.
Marcus created that name.
Did you say Mark?
I said Marcus created the name.
Oh, I thought you said something else. Okay.
Leading receiver for the Bucs was Godwin, 11 receptions, 125 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And for the Saints was Moore for 2 receptions for 54 yards. Time of possession was pretty lopsided. The Bucks had the ball for 34 minutes, while the Saints had the ball for 25 minutes. I picked the Bucks in this one. I got it right. I was getting ready to pick the Saints until I found out about the rookie starting, and I had to flip my pick on that one. New Orleans scored 27 points in the second quarter and did not score again in the entire game. That's
I believe one of those was a special teams defensive
one of them
touchdown.
special teams. Okay, that's wild. I mean, the rookie, he didn't do too bad, but again, your rush game, Tampa rushed 277 yards and the Saints rushed for 81 yards. You got to protect that rookie and get a better run game. And you got Alvin Kamara, and he only had 40 yards rushing. That was pretty bad. So I picked the Saints. I got this one right. Mark, who'd you have?
You picked the Bucks.
You picked the
I'm
Bucks.
sorry, I picked the Bucks and got this one right. Mark, who'd you have?
Yeah, I took the Bucks too, man. The Bucks ran the ball, man, which kept their offense balanced, which was a good thing. The Saints, of course, played without Derek Carr. Spencer Rattler did go 22 for 40, 243 yards, 27 rushing, touchdown, 2 interceptions in his debut. They didn't lose because of Rattler, that's for sure. They lost. That defense gave up 277 yards rushing, a total of 594 yards. You can't beat anybody playing like that. But I took the Bucks, and the Bucks they won it.
Marcus?
He also took the Bucks. Didn't have any faith in New Orleans. When I made the pick last week, they had lost 3 in a row. Now they lost 4 in a row. Like I say, those first 2 games were outliers. Not relevant to the rest of the season. They're not a good team. I picked their coach, Dennis Allen, to be fired first. Obviously, I was wrong, but they're not a good team. And then, like you said, Herman, starting a rookie like that, then he has to, on his first outing, he has to throw 40 times. Probably not gonna go well in fair. We need to be able to run the ball. We got a rookie like that, protect them, and they couldn't do it. So Tampa Bay was the obvious pick, and I was right.
And Brian closes out with this one.
Yeah, Marcus, you're right. Having him throw 40 times was just a little too much for the rookie, man. And then the Saints defense, I don't know where they were because the Bucks were 4 for 5 in the red zone. And then both of these teams turned the ball over 3 times. So they kind of washed it out. But it had the Saints took advantage of those turnovers, they may have been better in this, may have been a closer game. But Bakerfield did his thing. Might have to pick him up in fantasy.
I think somebody got him.
Yeah, by this time, somebody got him.
Yeah.
Did you start him, Mark?
I didn't.
Who'd you
But I
start?
won. I still won.
Who'd you start?
I gotta look at it. I started Joe Boy, I think.
Okay.
Peyton Daniels.
All right, well, we're gonna move right into that game. The Washington Commanders traveled into Baltimore. Yes, let me slow down. Let's just wait. Yeah, get there. You go. Put it on, baby.
I hope you
Nice.
can't see it.
Yeah, spin. All right. The Washington Commanders traveled into Baltimore to take on the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore won this one 30-27. This was a good game. It was a close game. Lamar Jackson was 20 for 26, 323 yards passing with 1 touchdown and 1 pick. On the flip side, Jaden Daniels was 24 for 35, 269 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Leading rusher for the Ravens was Derrick Henry, 24 carries, 132 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Long way off from what Harbaugh said when he said, we didn't bring Derrick Henry here to run the ball 20 times. Well, they're doing it now, and they found a winning formula.
That phrase didn't age well at all.
Yeah, not at all. Leading
You
rusher
don't think
for the
anything ages well.
Don't be hating around.
10-year-old comment.
Hey man, it showed up on my time. It showed up on my timeline memories. I had to,
Next time, check the date.
I did check your date.
Okay.
On the flip side, Jaden Daniels, 6 carries for 22 yards. I'm gonna need Washington to get their running back situation together.
You
Okay?
know, Robinson was
I
hurt.
know he
so
was hurt, but y'all got Eckler. Like,
Yeah.
come on. Leading receiver Zay Flowers, 9 receptions, 9 receptions, 132 yards, and leading receiver for Washington was Ertz, 4 receptions for 68 yards. Time of possession in this one went to Baltimore. It was a little lopsided. Baltimore had the ball 36 minutes. Washington had the ball 23 minutes. Washington rushed for only 52 yards, and Baltimore rushed for 176 yards. Brian, who'd you have in this one?
Yeah, and this one I did pick the Ravens. I did pick this one right, and like you said, Herman, man, the Ravens' offense was off the charts, man. 484 yards on 65 plays. It's hard to lose like that, and I mean, like a lot of these NFL teams, it seems like nobody has defense anymore. You know, the Commanders were doing well on offense. They finally did punt, thank goodness, so we could get that stat out the air. But you know, the defense just never slowed Baltimore down. So I mean, it's tough when you keep trying to score for score. So it was a good game, and I mean, it was a learning experience. But Baltimore was obviously the better team.
Yep, I went with Baltimore on this one too. Expected to be a pretty close game, and it kind of was. It may have been a little different if Robinson played, maybe not. I like what Baltimore. What'd you say?
It wouldn't.
I like what Baltimore's doing, running Derrick Henry. That's what you signed that dude for. You might want to bring his carries down a little bit just so you have him throughout the whole season. And you don't wear him out, completely. But this is what you brought him in for. And they're finally starting to use him. Lamar, he's doing his thing. And I like not seeing Lamar at the top of the rush stat sheet. You know what I mean? I want to see him last and be a quarterback, and I had to take those hits. But I picked the Ravens, and I got this one right. Marcus, who'd you have?
Yeah, I had to pick against my team and pick the Ravens.
You didn't have to. You didn't have to.
Can I finish my conversation?
You chose to.
Because as much I do have some faith in the Commanders now, but they're not ready to beat elite teams, and Baltimore is an elite team. First of all, the Commanders' defense isn't there to be able to stop Baltimore, and I knew it was going to be a close game because both of them defenses are not ranked great, but I just knew there was no way they were built to stop Derrick Henry. It just wasn't going to happen. The one thing I do say about this game, and this tells you a lot about Lamar Jackson, in that first quarter when Lamar Jackson threw that interception, I was like, oh, the defender's going to run this back until I see who the last person he had to beat, and it was Lamar. And I was like, oh yeah, he's not going to run that back. How many quarterbacks can you say that about? Because I was like, oh, he's going to take it. And I was like, oh no, they go Lamar. Not going to happen. and Lamar is the one that stopped it from running it back. So, like I said, I got faith in the team. They're good, but they're not ready to beat elite teams yet. So I picked Washington, I picked Baltimore, and I was right.
And finally, Mark.
Hold on, Mark. Hold on. Don't go yet.
Is it just because it's Mark that you can't get it together?
I don't know why.
Seems like it.
You big dummy, you big dummy, you big cold-blooded dummy, you big dummy, see what you did? Oh no, you big dummy.
Well, I might be the big dummy, but the Ravens finally found Mark Andrews. They targeted him finally in this particular game. If you were a fantasy owner of Mark Andrews, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The Washington defense looked bad. Until they can fix that defense, there's going to be a lot of games. They're going to have to do a whole lot of scoring in. There's going to be some high-scoring games for them. But I think Jaden Daniels did well to go into Baltimore, one of the tough environments in the league to play, and he played a very good defense. I think he did well. But I took the Commanders. I thought they were going to upset him, but they didn't. So that's why I'm wearing the hat.
So you picked them because you thought they really going to upset them, or just because you hate the Ravens so much?
Yeah,
Right.
No, I thought they were going to upset him. I really did. I believed in them. I believed they were going to upset him.
No music to take him out.
You suck. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no. You big dummy.
All right. Moving on to the next game. This was our Sunday night game. The Bengals went into New York and beat the Giants 17-7. Joe Burrow. I was disappointed in the performance by Burrow and the Bengals. Burrow, because he's my fantasy player, and they lost. Made me lose my game this week. Burrow was 19 for 28, 208 yards passing. On the flip side, Daniel Jones was 22 for 41, 205 yards passing with one interception. Leading rusher for the Bengals was Joe Burrow, 4 carries for 55 yards. You probably never see that stat line again. And he had 1 touchdown. And Daniel Jones was the leading rusher for the Giants, 11 carries for 56 yards. On the receiving side, T. Higgins was the leading receiver, 7 receptions, 77 yards. And Darius Slayton, 6 receptions for 57 yards. Time of possession in this one, a little lopsided, which is really weird because the Giants actually won time of possession 34 minutes to the Bengals 25 minutes. Marcus, you can go first on this one. Who'd you have?
I picked the Bengals. It was actually a lot closer than I was expecting.
Way closer.
Yeah. The Bengals didn't look that good. The Giants actually looked pretty decent. I feel like the Bengals really, if you're a Bengals fan, you really shouldn't be too happy with this win. It should have been a lot more lopsided than it was. And like I said, when Burrow is your leading rusher, that's a problem. That's a real problem. But I did pick the Bengals, and I was right.
Yeah, I had the Bengals in this one too. Like you said, I didn't expect this to even be anywhere close as what it was. Funny thing is, both teams' quarterbacks were their leading rushers, and their rush stats were almost identical: 121 yards for the Bengals and 119 yards for the Giants. And so was passing: 183 yards for the Bengals and 190 yards for the Giants. So, yeah, this game was
the Giants had almost double the amount of first downs too.
Yeah, they did. This game is. I don't know if you want to call this game a defensive game or what, but it just the Bengals. I don't know what you're gonna get week in and week out. You know what I mean? They just don't know what they're doing, and I guess their defense is bad. Maybe there's no real reason for their offense to be struggling. Like they had all their pieces in place. So I picked the Bengals. I got it right, but they just squeaked by on this one. Mark, who'd you have?
Hey, I took the Bengals on this one, but they did everything to hand this game over to the Giants. There were plenty of opportunities for the Daniel Jones to carry this Giants team to victory, but he couldn't come up with it without Malik Neighbors and Devin Singletary. The Bengals defense came into this game ranked 31st in league scored on. 31st. That's pretty bad. But I took the Bengals.
And Brian.
Yeah, I was with you guys. I also went with the Bengals. And like Herman said, this was disappointing. I mean, the Bengals put up 304 offensive yards. The Giants put up 309. Both of them had 11 drives. Each of them turned the ball over. And it was just disappointing for that. I mean, maybe the Giants defense is better than what I thought. I don't know. But, I mean, Giants actually should have won the game, I feel. So, I mean, Mike, I don't know what to tell you about your squad, man. you ain't gonna win too many chicken sandwiches this year.
You're right. Say you better get his chicken sandwich supply up.
But I picked the Bengals. I did get it right.
All right, let's move on to our last game, the Monday Nighter. We had the Buffalo Bills traveling into New York to take on the Aaron Rodgers New York Jets. The Buffalo won this one. Oh, you lone wolf this one? I couldn't remember who lone wolf this one or not. Yeah.
Mr. Lone Wolf, dummy, big dummy hat leaders.
I know. I for real, I think we might have to change the rules in this game. This shit's getting bad.
Josh Allen was 19 for 25, 215 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Aaron Rodgers was 23 for 35, 294 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Leading rusher was for the Jets was Bryce Hall, 18 carries for 113 yards. And on the flip side for Buffalo was they had a surprise scratch with James Cook was a no-go. So they had Davis came in and rushed 20 carries for 97 yards. On the receiving end of things, Lazard was the leading receiver, 6 receptions for 114 yards with 1 touchdown. And on Davis was their leading receiver for the Bills, 3 receptions for 55 yards. So time of possession was actually pretty close. New York won the time of possession in this game, 30 minutes to 29 minutes. Total rushing yards were only off by 20. Buffalo had more with 149 rush yards, and New York had 121 rush yards. Brian, who'd you have in this one? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Never mind. Nope.
Okay.
Mark,
I can go
Mark,
first. I can
Mark,
go
who'd you have in this
first.
one?
You go last.
Mark, who'd you have in this one? Sorry.
This one I took the Bills. The loss was the 3rd one in a row for the Jets. They couldn't get their interim head coach his first game victory, which was sad. After every big play, man, there seemed to be a flag. 22 flags with 204 yards of penalty yards on it. And then this pass, the roughing the passer, it was ridiculous. I don't get it. But this game was shouldn't have been this close, but it was. And I took the Bills on this one.
Marcus, who'd you have in this one?
They also took the Bills. You know, like I've been saying all season, I have no faith in Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. And like Mark said, it probably shouldn't have been this close. That stupid Hail Mary. I don't know how. It's like, come on. I don't know.
But you got to give him credit for that, Marcus.
I mean, no, I give more. I count that more to the Bills messing up than I do to Aaron Rodgers getting that right.
He has like what 10 or 18 or he has a rack of them. It's
but
crazy.
there was one Jets player back there.
He getting choked up about it.
And 4 Bills defenders. No excuse for that. So I picked the Bills and I was right.
Yeah, I was along with the smart guys on this panel that picked the Bills.
Smart by 3 points.
After all the stuff that went on, with the Jets, I don't know how anybody could have picked the Jets. At least not this week, anyway. Things could have changed. Could have been a little different. Game could have went a different way. But you gotta give him some credit with that Hail Mary. I mean, come on, that Hail Mary was nice. I mean, one Jets receiver down there, and he went up and got me high pointed it
against 4 Bills defenders. Come on,
yeah, he went up and high pointed it. That was the big difference. But I did pick the Bills in this one, and I did get this one right. And let's hear from our resident hat wearer, Brian.
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no, you big dummy.
Go ahead, big dummy.
I prefer the sad music. I'd rather have
going big dummy for you.
But I mean, it was actually a pretty decent game. The Jets defense is what really let me down. The Bills, they made their hay in the red zone. They were 3 for 4, while the Jets were 1 for 4 in this game. I did when like the first half, I knew I was like, man, this game is over. I'm at to wear this stupid hat. And then the Hail Mary came, and I was like, well, maybe there's a chance, But Buffalo was a better team. And I hate to say it, man, but Aaron he just don't look like Aaron no more. So I thought that it was going to be a hurrah. Normally there's the statistic when they fire coach, the team, normally rallies around and they get a big win the next game, but it was not meant for me. So I'm wearing this stupid hat for like the 4th time this season, which is really ridiculous. I feel like Marcus right now. So
Which mean you feel like me right now?
just
I ain't
feel
worn a
like
hat
you.
that many times, sir.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Once.
I feel like you.
You on
feel
your
like
fourth time, sir. Fourth
Yeah,
time.
but I mean, just like for history's sake, I feel
Mm.
like you. But I picked the dumb Jets, and I would never pick the Jets again.
Right. Wait,
You big dummy. You big dummy. You big dummy. You big cold-blooded dummy. You big dummy. See what you did? Oh, no. You big dummy.
all
I think
right.
it's copyright infringement too, for the record.
Well, I'll wait till we get a strike. I'll wait.
So how'd y'all do this week,
I went
4-2.
5-1.
Brian?
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 3-3.
I went 5-1.
Yeah, but I only
All
lost
right.
the damn San Francisco game. Should've picked
Yeah, that's the only one too for me. All right, let's move into our next week's games. We're going to start our first game off with our Thursday nighter coming. We have the 3-3 Broncos going into New Orleans to take on the 2-4 Saints. The Broncos are 2.5 point favorite in this one. Mark, I will let you start first. Who do you have in this one?
I like how the Broncos been playing here lately with Bo Nix. I think I'm gonna ride the Broncos with this one.
Yeah, I'm with you on this one, but I'm picking the Broncos because they have Bo Callahan. I don't know who Bo Nix is, but we call him Bo Callahan on this show. So Saints are starting the rookie again. I'm sure I believe they're starting the rookie again. I guess I shouldn't say that.
Yeah.
But,
Yes.
Okay. I'm sure he's gained some confidence, but I just think that, like Mark said, I like how the Broncos are playing right now. So give me the Broncos. Brian. God, I was hosting.
Man, I don't know what y'all see in the Broncos that's that great. The predictor does have the Broncos winning narrowly at 52%, and the scouts are giving the Broncos 2.5. But I don't know why, man. I'm just going to go with the home team. I like the way Rattler played. I think that the Saints have a better defense, even though the Broncos still are actually technically better. But I don't know. I'm probably going to wear the hat again next week, and that's fine.
And Marcus.
Hold on. This damn thing is giving me all kinds of problems today.
Let me do it myself.
Hey, Brian, get ready to wear that hat next week. I'm also going with the Broncos. I don't know. Excuse me. You said you don't see anything. Excuse me. You said you don't see what we see in the Broncos. I don't see what you see in the Saints.
Right.
Them Hammers look good for 2 weeks, and that's been it. They haven't won a game since. And I like Bo Callahan more than I like Spencer Rattler, so I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, I think Olave is out too, Brian.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Sure you don't want to change that pick.
You just be throwing stuff out there, bro. I don't think you even care anymore. You just be throwing.
All right, let's move on
I
to
have
the
a new
next one.
philosophy. Go with the home team winning question.
This one, hey, now here we go. This is the one. This is why we picked this game, baby. The 1-5 Patriots going into Jacksonville to take on. Oh, I'm sorry. Are they? This is the London game.
This is
They're
the
not
9 o'clock
This
game,
is-
Herbert.
this
This
is
is
a
why
London game.
we didn't choose this game. This game chose us.
because you're right. So you got the 1-5 Patriots taking on the 1-5 Jags. The Jaguars are 5.5 point favorites in this one. Brian, who you picking in this one?
The predictor had the Jags big time, 70%. The Jags overseas, they're the more rested team. Give me the Jaguars.
Mark.
This is a toilet bowl game, man. This thing might be a tie. Give me the Patriots in this one.
Mark taking the Patriots. Marcus, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm also taking the Patriots. I have no faith in the Jaguars. Give me Drake May over Sunshine. I'm taking the Patriots.
All right. Well, Brian, you are not alone. Give me the Jaguars. I told you we don't know which Jaguars team we're gonna see. So last week's team was the bad one. So this week, Sunshine's gonna pull it out. So
Come
give me
on,
the
we could have made him
Jaguars.
wear the hat twice.
Nah, I had already. I figured I thought I was gonna lone wolf the Jags myself anyway. So All right, this one should be a good one. We got the 5-1 Texans going into Lambeau to take on the 4-2 Packers. Packers are home 2.5-point favorites. I will start this one off, and I will go with the Texans. I believe in CJ Stroud more than I do Jordan Love. I know Green Bay can be a hard place to play at home, but the Texans have been looking really good. I think they have a well-rounded team, young team, very talented, and their quarterback is definitely talented. So give me the Texans. Marcus, who you got?
So you already know there's two Kool-Aids I'm drinking this season, and both of them are blue. The Lions Kool-Aid, and I'm drinking the Texans Kool-Aid. I have a lot of faith in Jordan Love and the Packers, and I like what LaFleur was able to do when Love was out. But I think the Texans are a better team. I think they're one of the elite teams in the league, so I'm going to take the Texans.
You know the Texans wear red too, right?
Yeah, I was just.
What do they wear? Blue and red.
Sometimes they wear all red.
But I think their primary color is blue, though.
Brian, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I'm going with you guys. I mean, I do like the Packers, but the predictor has the Packers at 58%. But I'm with y'all. I think the Texans squeak it out.
And Mark.
I've been riding the Texans so far this season. I'm not gonna jump off this bandwagon, this horse. Give me the Texans.
All right. Next, we have the 2-4 Jets going into. Is this right? Really? Going into Pittsburgh to take on the 4-2 Steelers.
Yes.
Not that part. The Jets are 1.5-point favorites in this game.
Yeah.
Wow, that's kind of disrespectful. But then again, when you have a team that hasn't named their starting quarterback all year long,
now they're starting Russ. So and Russ they trust now.
Well, now, but that's what I'm saying. They didn't say he's a starter.
Oh, they are starting Russ?
either.
They're starting Russ.
Yeah,
Russ.
They hadn't named the starter all season. So that's a big thing. All right,
that could have
Brian.
been a hot topic.
It could have been, yeah. Brian, who you got in this one?
Man, home kicking narrowly gets the predictors vote. They got the Steelers at 51%. I'm never picking the Jets again. Give me Pittsburgh.
Brian, Marcus, who you got in this one?
Yeah, all this crap y'all don't heard me talk about the Jets. You really think I'm picking the Jets? I'm going with the Steelers all day, every day. Give me the Steelers.
I don't know all day, every day now. It's a little much.
I get the Jets. I get the Jets.
All day, every day this
I
week.
get the Jets. I get the Jets.
Mark,
All day, every day, I get the Jets.
Do I even need to ask, Mark?
You don't have to ask this week.
So who you
Fool,
picking?
say it for the record.
Right.
Steelers.
All right, Marcus, cue up my music.
Oh, damn. So I disrespectful you. Hold on. Let me get that. Hold on.
Herman, cue up your own music.
Yeah, I know. Give me the Jets, baby. The Jets just got a new weapon. Aaron Rodgers has a brand new toy to play with. He's a little old. He dusted him off the shelf. The Steelers don't know who their starting quarterback is, even though they're starting Russ Wilson this week. We don't even know who it's going to be next week. Maybe Mason Rudolph might be back. Who knows? Give me the Jets on the road to beat the Steelers. All right.
Disrespect.
Yes, very. Next game, we got the 4 and this should be a good one too. We got the 4-2 Ravens. This is a Sunday night game.
Mm-hmm.
Got the 4-2 Ravens going into Tampa to take on the 4-2 Buccaneers. The Ravens are 3.5-point favorites. Brian, Mark, I'll let you start with this one.
I'm gonna take the Ravens in this one. Give me the Ravens.
He don't seem too happy about it.
Right. He's like begrudgingly mad he had to take the Ravens. I'm gonna go with I already picked. Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens. I think the Ravens in their run game is great. Bakerfield's probably not gonna have such as good a game this week. And I believe in the purple Kool-Aid, Lamar and Derrick Henry. So give me the Ravens. Brian, who you got?
Yeah, the predictor is with you guys. They like the Ravens 58%. And I also like the Ravens. Caw-caw!
And
I think
Marcus.
I think that's a crow. I'm not sure that's a raven, bro. You might want to check.
Well, that's what they do at the game. So
Okay. I'm also going to take the Ravens. Like I just said earlier, I think the Ravens are an elite team. I think the Bucks are good, but I don't think they're an elite team. The Ravens, they're on fire right now. Derrick Henry and Lamar. That's a hard combination to beat, so I might have to go with the Ravens.
Definitely is. All right. And the last one, the Monday nighter, we have the 3-2 Chargers going into Arizona to take on the 2-4 Cardinals. The Chargers are 2.5-point favorites in this one. Brian, you didn't tell us who? Did you tell us who the predictor had on the last game?
they had the Ravens,
They did have
58%.
Okay. So go ahead and start us with this one, Brian. He can tell us who the predictor has in this one. Chargers at Cardinals. Who you got?
Another narrow one. The Cardinals got them at voted by 52%.
Really?
This is a toilet bowl game. I just picked the home team. I picked the Cardinals. Hey, is the head coach going to be coaching? Because he left. Harbaugh left.
Yeah, he's fine.
Oh, okay.
He had a heart thing, but he said it's something that happens to him every now and then.
Okay.
And
okay.
his heart
Give
went
me
out of
the
rhythm.
Cardinals, and if I wear
You
the
sure?
hat,
You know Call of Duty came out, right? Or is coming out?
I know.
Brian's
And I don't know
Ravens.
if their rookie wide receivers
Is
gonna play
Marvin
either.
Harrison playing?
I don't know. He
Junior?
I
got
don't think
hurt,
so.
so I don't
Yeah.
know.
Oh, he got hurt?
Yeah, he got hurt.
He got hurt
last
in that
game.
last game.
All right, Mark, who you got in this one?
I want to. If they had a healthy Marvin Harrison, I would take him, but they don't. So I'm taking the Chargers.
Marcus, who you got in this one?
Yeah, I mean, Brian says it's a toilet bowl game. I don't know if it's a toilet bowl game. I think the Chargers are a pretty decent team, but I might take the Chargers. So I believe.
You ain't got their starting quarterback on your fantasy squad.
Who you got? You got Herbert.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's not putting up a lot, but
But they winning.
yeah,
That's
they're
not
winning,
that's
yeah.
not what they're about these days. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Chargers.
Yeah, Brian, I don't, man, bro. I don't know what you're doing. I feel like you are just kind of throwing it away. You like to wear the hat. If you want to wear the hat, you can wear it all the time if you like.
Start the stream with it on. That's what
Yeah, but give me the
From the guy
Chargers
who
on
picked
this
the
one.
Jets. Let's stop.
Oh, I will be wearing the cap next week, the right
Okay.
cap.
Okay.
All right, so this the recap. The Broncos at the Saints. Brian is lone wolfing the Saints on that one. We split on Patriots at the Jaguars. We all four agreed to Texans at the Packers. I lone wolf the Jets at the Steelers because the Steelers don't have a starting quarterback that they want to name. Ravens at the Bucks. We all were in accord with that one. And Brian Holly is bringing up the hat again. He picked the Cardinals over the Chargers at home.
I'm going 2-0 with the smart hat.
Yeah, okay. Not gonna happen. All right.
Y'all
so
gonna be
that-
sick next week when I get to smile and tell y'all how smart I am 2 times. Y'all, I don't know what y'all gonna do.
That concludes our that's our last pick. So we'll move on into our final thoughts. Brian, you have a final thought?
Nope.
Of course he does. I don't know why I ever start with that, dude.
No.
Mark, do you have a final thought for us?
Just for everybody to have a nice week.
See, so the answer was no.
My final thought is if the Washington Commanders don't get a running game behind Jaden Daniels, we will be looking at RG3 2.0.
Why you
let
gotta
it
bring
happen.
some? Why you gotta bring some? Why you gotta talk about my team?
Don't let it happen.
I
Hey,
know
look,
you aren't talking, sir.
What does it say right here? What does it say under my name? Give me my music, my other music.
Why we even gotta bring that crap up?
I'm just saying.
We tore.
Yes, sir.
That,
And Marcus, final thought for
that
you.
ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Focus on your team. Don't focus on my team. This came out of nowhere.
I'm a hater, man. I gotta make it good.
Whatever. Before we get out of here, I want to encourage everyone to like.
I guess he didn't have a final thought, Herman.
Yeah, I guess so.
Like, share, and subscribe, especially watching on YouTube. You can catch us on Twitter. /X at Delayed Game. We're on Instagram at Defensive Delayed Game. And we catch you next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Peace. We out.
Peace.